You are now listening to the Q&E Podcast.
Is this what you want? Huh? Is this what you want? Well, come and get it, goddammit!
What's up, everybody? You're listening to the Q&E Podcast. You here with your boy Q Hicks right now. I got Edgar on the other line. Edgar, tell the people what's good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Q&E Podcast. Today, we are reviewing Snowfall, Episode 8. This title was called Betrayal. And boy, we got everything we wanted with this episode. I'm going to say it now. This is the best episode of the season. Hands down, this is the best episode of the season. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. We got a lot to dive into with this one. Tanosse, predictions were correct.
Yes.
Teddy and Franklin back to the regular vibes we used to from both of them. It was a lot of good energy with this episode.
This nigga Franklin, this was the episode my nigga Franklin got his groove back. This whole season, my nigga Franklin was just trying to get his groove back. We said it in the first couple of episodes when he was making that plan at the beginning, trying to set up Scully and Manboy against each other. And throughout this whole season, he really hasn't looked like Franklin. He just trying to get back in the groove. But this episode, my nigga is back to it. Plotting on Tanosse, actually starting to realize what the fuck is going on around him. He's seeing clearly now, bro. The rain is gone, no distractions. And my nigga know what the fuck is going on. I love this episode, my nigga. Let's dive into this shit. What were your predictions coming into it?
My predictions were, I think we were going to find out more about Avi. I thought in this episode, we didn't see Avi at all. The only time we seen him was when the episode was over and they gave a sneak preview for episode 9. So that prediction was false. Not false, but it just didn't come true. What else did I predict? I thought Khadijah was probably going to have a come into realization moment that she had a part to play in all of this with her daughter and everything. That obviously did not happen at the fuck all. And yeah, I think those were the two biggest ones. Other than that, I don't think I had any like huge predictions.
You also said that he was gonna meet up with Irene this episode as well. Yeah,
that one.
And what did I think about this episode? I knew Louie was gonna get shot this episode. I had a feeling that was gonna happen this episode. And damn, what else did I predict? Damn. I predicted something about Irene. I thought she was going to come to a realization about the consequences that could come with her actions. And we did see some consequences this episode, man. So let's dive into this shit, bro. I'm hyped as fuck.
Yeah, the biggest plot points I pulled from episode 8 were, number one, the crew is slowly getting torn apart. Even though what we just said about Franklin and Teddy, they getting their grooves back and everything like that, the crew is slowly getting torn apart. With Jerome, with Sissy, Alton, of course, Louie and her situation now with getting shot. It's just slowly coming apart. And then Irene bites off more than she can chew. That was the second thing I wrote down. And we see by the end of the episode, she's getting a full dose, literally, no pun intended. She's getting a full dose of what she said she wanted to be involved in. And thirdly, Teddy and Franklin looking like their old selves again amidst all this craziness. So even though the crew is falling apart with Franklin, even though Teddy is still mourning the death of his brother and still just trying to balance his workload, they're both looking like end of season 2, all of season 3, Teddy and Franklin. They're looking like that.
Exactly.
And I'm loving it.
And you even seen like at the beginning of this episode, but Teddy was still like in his old way, still doing that coke. But I think seeing the Nicaraguan war and the downfall of that really like it clicked something in his mind of like, damn, I got to get back to it. Like, cause I'm killing people by my mistakes. I'm killing people. So he was like, I got to get back into it. So now he got to go back to season 2, season 3 mode, and everything got to get right with Franklin. So that can't happen again, bro. Cause when he was having that conversation with that girl, bro, you can just see like he was feeling like all the pain that she was feeling, bro. Like he knew he was the one or one of the biggest reasons that caused that to happen.
Definitely. And speaking of Teddy, that's how we open this episode up. We start off with Teddy is in Nicaragua and he's trying to figure out the problem with the missing shipment and why things have been going wrong overseas with this war. And he's still on the coat, like Quincy just said. That's his way of coping with his brother's passing. So I thought by now he probably would have tried to shake it.
I feel like he's addicted by now. I feel like he's damn near addicted. When he was doing it, like he had that little bag or whatever. I was like, that's some cracky. I was like, that's some cocaine shit he was doing. Had it in a little bag, just You got that little. That's like smoking a what they call that bitch, a roach. That's like smoking a roach.
Literally,
like you don't really need that shit, but you fiending for that shit so hard.
Just
so,
that,
I feel like
just a little bump. Just a little bump right on the nose.
Just to get me through the day. Just to get me through the day.
And he walks up on the camp that he usually goes to, and he notices it's been raided, and everyone there has been killed except one person who we have yet to see. But this person knocks him out, and that's how the episode starts off. What were your thoughts going into that scene?
Man, I just didn't know who captured him. I thought that was probably somebody from or the enemy of the Nicaraguans in that scene. I thought that was them that hit Teddy over the head, but we ended up finding out it was the girl. But I was just like, man, I just felt pain, honestly, for Teddy because, like I said before, he understands that this was all his fault. And you can see when he's seen all the bodies on the ground, he was just like, all of that shit just started to hit him and shit. So I was just like, man, bro. And it's the same thing with like Franklin and like his community's downfall. Like, you know, he on the inside, he's seeing all of his people, like the males and the Wandas have their downfall, but he has to just keep it pushing. And I feel like Teddy was the same way. He's seeing everybody. He feels like he's the cause of this that happened, like with the war and all of this shit. And he's just like, damn, he still got to keep it pushing through that. And that shit is tough, bro.
Speaking of Mel, I told y'all she wasn't gonna pop back up this season. I told y'all it was not going to happen.
I'm glad you brought that up, bro. Bro, we only seen Mel once this episode, bro. I mean, what's this season?
I didn't want to see her no more. I'm not upset about it. What factor?
But we see Wanda. We see Wanda, but we don't see Mel.
The Wanda angle was way better. Because what information was Mel going to give? She didn't have shit to give.
It don't matter, bro. I just wanted to see my nigga Mel, dog. So we just supposed to assume that she's clean.
Yes.
In episode 1, we just supposed to assume that she's clean. She no relapse or nothing. Come on, bro. Just because she quote unquote found Jesus.
Yes.
That girl ain't find Jesus, man. That girl ain't find Jesus, man. That shit crazy, dog. I thought she was bullshitting in that second episode.
But since we know it's going to be a season 5, I wouldn't be surprised if she shows up next season. I doubt now with only 2 episodes left. I doubt they're just
it's no point. Yeah, it's no point.
Yeah, it's no point right now. But season 5, I could definitely see her making a comeback, especially with how I feel my prediction of them really going into the AIDS thing for season 5. I definitely feel like she'll make a comeback for that. So hopefully we'll see her in season 5 when it makes sense. I just didn't feel like this season made sense for her. But we get to the next scene where Khadijah, Manboy, and Scully are plotting. They know Franklin is with the CIA due to Irene's article finally getting out. Scully is still in on it, but he's not really trying to participate in anything. And we notice how Louie has her club. The Manboy, Scully, and Khadijah situation, they got their own barbershop that their community goes to. So you notice that the kingpins of each city, like they got their own either family oriented or community involved oriented business that everybody can go to. And I thought that was just cool to point out because they go into that scene and you just see the old heads talking about the CIA and, just barbershop talk. But then in the back, you see what's really going on with the shit. So I'm like, damn, this is just kind of like a lower budget thing of what Franklin and Louie are doing.
Yeah. But I was honestly surprised that the article came out because at the end of episode 7, we got the zoomed out view of the editorial room, but we didn't know what was going on. We don't know if she was trying to delay the story or if she was handing in the story or something like that. So I was like, damn, is she going to turn it in or not? So when we get this scene, I'm like, oh, she actually went through with it. So, bro, my heart rate went up, bro, because I'm like, how the fuck are they going to get out of this shit for real at this point? Because this shit is really in the paper at this point. I'm like, oh my god, like that shit put my whole senses at 10. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch out for everything. Nah, bro, this shit is some real shit, and I'm glad they did that though. I'm glad they didn't draw it out. They made you feel a sense of urgency this episode. Like we ain't gonna let y'all wait until episode 10. Like, no, we're gonna do it right now. And then we'll figure everything out, you know what I'm saying, in the next 2 episodes. But I love that shit.
But the crazy part about it was I didn't expect for Irene to actually not mention Franklin's name. Granted, you put his father's name in it, and you only put the identity. Like you put the identity as Mr. X for the person who is supposed to be Franklin Saint, you know. So if somebody puts 2 and 2 together, they can figure out that it's actually
because what's name seen it? Because Manboy looked at him and was like, obviously,
yeah.
Frank. What's name? Manboy's in the game though, so he can obviously put 2 and 2 together.
But even the people in the barbershop, they knew that was Franklin Saint.
Yeah,
that they was talking about.
That's
so
true.
it's like she kind of did hold up her end of the bargain by not putting his name in it. But everybody's gonna figure out who it is because of the other names that you're putting in, and the fact that you put it was in South Central. Who runs South Central? Franklin Saint. So come on now, like she half-assed that, in my opinion, on how to hide his identity.
And we said that, bro. It's going to be hard to literally just absolve Franklin from this whole story. You're going to have to put some type of identifying clues in there to point everybody in, not point everybody, but to give a hint that it's Franklin, bro. So that's why when she was talking to Alton, telling him all that bullshit, it's like, Alton, have common sense, bro. Do you really think she's not going to like give some clues to who the fuck is the kingpin of South Central? Come on, bro.
And also, before we get to the next scene, I thought it was crucial to point out that Khadijah is just really not trying to hear shit from anybody. Manboy is literally telling her, Manboy is telling her, look, calm down. You just killing people. You not caring who you hurt. You not caring nothing about that. And I told you I was going to set this shit right. Like, when your daddy did you wrong back in the day, who was the one that helped you out and gave him what was coming to him? Me. So when I tell you I'm finna help you, because somebody killed your baby, my niece, I promise you shit gonna get handled. But she still ain't trying to hear none of that shit. I'm like, bro, Khadijah is a monster at this point. There is no stopping her.
I told y'all that she was coming for Leon head, but that's why I said, once again, I don't think Leon will make it to the end of the season, because as long as Khadijah is alive, she's not stopping until Leon is fucking in a grave, bro. She might have missed and hit Louie this time, but trust me, she gonna circle back again. She will. And that's why when Tanosse by the end of the episode was telling her all that bullshit, telling Franklin, like, if you give Manboy the plug, Manboy can tell Khadijah to chill out. Like, bro, Khadijah ain't hearing none of that shit. Like, I don't give a fuck what Manboy got going on. Khadijah wants Leon in a grave, bro. For real, for real.
But honestly, I don't think Franklin and Leon too worried about Khadijah. Yeah, you worried because there's somebody who tried to kill you.
They worried about Khadijah, bro. If they just shot Louie, you worried about Khadijah, bro. Because that could have been them easily. That could have been them easily, bro.
But I'm saying it on a scheming point. I feel like it's easy to make a plan to stop Khadijah, because all you gotta do is figure out who she ride with, who she roll with, her workers and all that. Once you find out the basics on how to get to Khadijah, killing her is simple. That's why I was saying I'd rather be on Manboy's side than Scully. I'd rather have Scully. I'd rather deal with Scully than Manboy in a certain sense, because it's like Manboy is way too smart. He's not the person you really want to cross. You can cross Scully, or you can find a way to easily kill Scully. With Manboy got the brains and he got the power. You know what I'm saying? But Khadijah, I feel like Khadijah is just more efficient, hot-headed Scully. I feel like that's all it is with Khadijah. You can still get Khadijah put out easily. You can still knock her off easily. It's just they taking time with it right now because everything else that's going on.
But I'm gonna tell y'all this: if they try to kill Khadijah or end up killing Khadijah, even though we said all that shit that Scully was talking in the beginning looked like it was cap, if you kill his baby and his baby mama, oh my nigga. They better not make it out of fucking season 5, my nigga. I better not see Franklin alive after season 5, because Scully will be on them niggas' heads, bro. I don't want to hear none of that shit y'all saying. If you kill his baby mama and his daughter, everybody dead, bro. I don't give a fuck what y'all think about Scully. Scully is killing everybody, bro. Everybody.
I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. And then we get to the next scene where Franklin and the crew are trying to figure out what to do. They still ain't heard back from Teddy yet due to him being in Nicaragua, but they don't know that right now. They just ain't hearing from him. And Franklin does not feel appreciated right now. And he had to check their ass for real, because everybody is feeling like, what's going to happen to me? Like, what's going to happen to everything we doing? You know, Louie is scared. Jerome definitely scared as hell right now from all this CIA shit. Leon a little bit worried, but Franklin really sitting back like, hey, it's my daddy name in the paper. It's me identified as Mr. X. Like, it's me, my mama, and my daddy who really facing shit right now. None of y'all names are involved. All of y'all could low-key still walk away from this shit if it really came down to it. I'm the only one that's in trouble. And y'all worried about y'allselves. Like, and I'm gonna stand in front and I'm gonna take the bullet for y'all anyway. And I'm like, yeah, check their ass, Frankie. Let them know who you is.
That's what I'm
bro.
saying. Oh my God. That was my favorite scene of the whole fucking episode. Cause I'm glad he put them niggas in check. None of them niggas, since they done been with Franklin, touched the jail cell yet. None of them niggas have touched the jail cell except for Franklin. Franklin is the only nigga that's been in jail. But y'all niggas bitching at me. Y'all already know I'll take the L for y'all. Y'all already know that. But y'all bitching to me when I'm the one with the problems. Oh, I'm glad. Oh my God. I was so happy he did that shit, boy. Cause that's all he been hearing from them niggas. And that's why he looked at Jerome like that. And that's why he was looking like at Jerome like that the whole episode too. He was just like, man, you saying a lot of slick ass comments, my nigga. Like, I don't really appreciate that shit. Like, you ain't even in trouble, my nigga. You ain't directly working for the CIA, nigga. That's me. Like, man, Jerome ass getting on my nerves with that shit. I was like, yeah, Franklin deserved that shit. I'm glad he did that shit. Hell yeah, nigga.
He acted very well in that scene too. Desmond Idris,
hell yeah,
boy, you're doing your thing, bro. Cause when he stood up and he started yelling at them niggas, I was like, oh yeah, he understands the assignment.
Exactly.
Definitely. And we get to the next scene. Like we just said, Irene's story has been published and they're working on the second release of their story. So far, the story only tells like half of what's going on, and they haven't really told the full extent of what could possibly happen if this keeps occurring. And while she's creating the second half of the story, they found out that the White House and the Pentagon have been calling the paper. It's not just these news channels. It's not just these TV shows. Like, no, y'all are getting the attention of everybody. And her editor told her that too. He was like, well, we better soak in all this now before we got to start going to hearings and all that stuff. And she's like, what you talking about? And he's like, you don't understand. Like, the White House and the Pentagon are reading this shit. You can't just put CIA involved in drug money on the paper and expect to hear nothing from that shit. So I feel like Irene's starting to figure out, oh shit, like this is something I can't just be proud about as a reporter. I got to be scared for this shit. And then that's when we hear that Franklin is calling her to meet up with her.
And this is where I started to think, how many signs does Irene actually need until she actually stops? It's like, you have been threatened by Franklin. You have been warned by your ex-husband. You have been warned by your editor. How many signs do you need to tell you to stop, my nigga? It's like, bro, come on. You got 3 signs, and then you met up with the big man. You met up with my nigga Teddy. Teddy had to get a hold of you. It's like multiple niggas told you to chill, and you just didn't listen, my nigga. I know earlier in the season she said she was willing to take a bullet, but my nigga, it ain't worth it, my nigga.
It's not worth it. A story ain't worth it. A story definitely ain't worth that shit. Oh,
it ain't worth it, my nigga. It don't take this many signs to stop Irene. It really doesn't. But she a G. She a trooper, though. And I love what her husband said. Like, a lot of people would have fell under the pressure and would have fallen to the signs. Like, man, I'm scared. I'm scared for my life. But Irene stood tall in the paint. Like, no, I'm going to do my thing. Like, I'm a journalist, and I'm going to go with the ethics of journalism. I'm going to get to the truth. I'm going to get to the bottom of things. I love that scene, bro. I love that because that's real. And that's really her personality. I love that shit, bro. But even though she's
definitely. And then we get to the next scene where Tanosse and Manboy are arguing, and this is where all the predictions come true. Everything that we've been saying for the past 2 to 3 episodes have finally come to fruition. She is working with Manboy. That is why Manboy has been so calm about trying to get the plug. And we find out Tanosse is his ear and her listening ear for Franklin.
But didn't Gail Bean say that they were related? Like they were cousins? They weren't cousins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was confused on that part. I was like, so they're not related, but they still know each other.
Yeah. So Gail Bean was wrong about her own show. I was confused.
I don't feel like they had to be related, but yeah, you kind of were wrong.
They didn't have to be related, but I was just confused because she said that was her cousin. So I'm like, so what the fuck?
Well, they didn't say they weren't related, so
I don't get.
We just assume. I don't get the sense that they are.
I feel like if they were related, this wouldn't have been the issue. Like, you ain't killing your family for no reason. Like, what did her brother do? That's something that we really need to find out as well. Like, what did her brother do, and why does Manboy want to kill him or even threatening to kill him? Like that's something that we should.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of questions that still left unanswered. So maybe they might be related. We might find out next episode what her tie is to Man Boy. So I ain't gonna say Gail was wrong just yet. But surface level right now, from what we've seen, they don't give me that related vibe at all. And what else? What else happened in that scene? Oh, she was saying how she want to get her money. She want to make sure her brother's safe. Man Boy gives her 1 more week to get the plug information from Franklin. And Tanosse is telling him, Franklin is not stupid. Like, I don't know what you want me to try to do, but I can't just blatantly just start asking him detailed information because he gonna know some shit up. And I'm like, Man Boy ain't trying to hear none of that shit. He know Franklin's smart, but hey, you want your brother to be protected. You want your money, you gonna figure that shit out.
And that's how Franklin caught her ass by the end of the episode. She knew way too much fucking information, my nigga. She knew way too much. And that nigga Franklin looked back like, my nigga, what? Like, you know this and you know that? Like, I don't care how many times or how you know this nigga Man Boy or Drew. Like, you shouldn't be knowing this information and coming to me with solutions, my nigga. Like, who are you to be giving me solutions about shit and about business? Like, oh yeah, my nigga, you up to some shit. You definitely up to some shit. So my nigga Franklin already knew what was going on. For real, for real.
And then we get to the next scene where Teddy is tied up by a girl at the camp, and we see she's the only survivor, and she's pissed that the government hasn't been there to help like they promised. Not only have the weapons not been getting there, but bodies been dropping around her left and right to the point to where the whole camp is slaughtered now. And like you said a few minutes ago, Teddy is seeing the emotion. The connect that he had at that camp that he was always in communication with, she's dead and everybody else is dead. And Teddy gets an up close look on how his mistakes, like Quincy just said, are leading to the death of other people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was it.
That definitely some gruesome shit that Teddy had to see. But then we get to the next scene where the CIA agent that comes by to see Teddy, he comes by this time and Gustavo ain't having none of that shit. He like, hey, Teddy left me in charge. I locked the door. You ain't getting in there. Like, plain and simple. I need you to understand that. And the CIA agent like, look, our bosses, like, they're pissed at Teddy right now. Teddy is in trouble. And Gustavo like, you just gonna have to come back when he here, because I'm not letting
you ain't got a key. You ain't supposed to be in there.
Exactly.
I'm like, okay, Gustavo.
Exactly. And we noticed that Gustavo is reading the paper on how the CIA and Franklin are involved in everything they're involved in. So this is where we get to see, okay, Gustavo getting up on information, his temporary boss role. I'm loving the fact that he know how to be a temporary boss. So shout out to Gustavo on that.
This is definitely my favorite Gustavo scene, bro. Definitely my favorite one, hands down, easily. My nigga tried to walk upstairs. He tried to walk upstairs. He had clicked the gun. Like, nigga, where you think you going? Nigga, like, and then Gustavo was like, nah, my nigga, you ain't got a key, nigga. Sir. You ain't supposed to be up there. I was like, yes, sir, Gustavo. But I didn't understand what they were trying to steal at first. Like, what they were trying to get out of Teddy's office. That was like one of my biggest questions. Like, what was in that office that was so necessary for an old boy to want?
I honestly feel like he was just trying to clean his office out, because throughout this whole season, honestly, so far, he's been telling Teddy, look, you look like you need rest. You're like, you're not handling all of this well. Shit is hitting the fan with stuff. Like, are you okay? And it's gotten to the point now where this story done leaked out, and I feel like he was going to clean Teddy's office out and either replace him himself or get somebody else to replace Teddy. And I think Gustavo peeped that, like, nah, I ain't finna let y'all go in there while he gone, because I don't know what y'all gonna take. I don't know who else y'all gonna try to bring in and all that. Nothing needs to change while Teddy is gone. If shit changes, it's going to be when he comes back. So
exactly.
We need to keep an eye out for that.
You need to tell that nigga straight up. You got to tell that nigga straight up if he getting replaced or not, nigga. You ain't finna do this shit behind his back. Yeah. Like, my nigga, no. And me and Edgar were talking about this shit before. You had said something about them replacing Teddy would have affected everybody. Like, Franklin probably wouldn't have been a part of the operation anymore, and that affects everything moving forward. But Teddy staying there and puts everything back into place. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. And if Teddy was to be replaced, who is to say that Teddy wouldn't have been killed as well? Like, they probably would have knocked this nigga off. We don't even need you no more type shit. So, like, we're going to replace you and you're going to get killed, my nigga. Like, you got all these secrets on the CIA. We don't even want those to be leaked.
And they probably would have easily just let Franklin get locked up if it came down to it, because you don't have that CIA plug helping you anymore. Like,
and he doesn't have that relationship.
Right, you ain't got that relationship because it would have been a whole new person. So I'm glad Gustavo played that security role just then and did not let that happen.
And I'm glad they showed that by the end of this episode that Teddy and Franklin do have a close relationship. Even though it's business, they do have a close relationship. And even though we said that earlier in the season that, man, like Franklin is slipping, maybe they can slip in a man boy to replace Franklin. But I don't think Teddy is going anywhere by that scene. By the end of the episode, it's either he riding out with Franklin or we both sinking down with the ship, my nigga. That's really how they roll it. And that's why I said I love that nigga Teddy, my nigga. I love that nigga, bro, because I really thought Teddy was going to move and just go where the money at. But he's like, no, Franklin is my guy, and I'm going to go down with the ship where Franklin go down, my nigga. I fucking love that shit, bro. I fucking love that. Shout out to Teddy. Definitely my favorite character, or second favorite character behind Franklin.
And speaking of Franklin, in the next scene, Irene and Franklin finally meet up. And Franklin tells Irene that he has the best of both worlds. It's their system, but it's his way. And also, Franklin warns Irene that the CIA is going to hunt her family if she completes this story, because he let her know real quick, look, you ain't got to worry about me and my people like coming after you or John or Jane or whatever. Like, and she was like, oh, you know my family and shit? Like, you did your research and all that? And she was like, you better stay the fuck away from my family. And Franklin was like, oh, chill. You acting like I'm the one that's going to come after their ass. It's the CIA. It's the government. And if the government kill your people, trust and believe you ain't finna see no justice for that. You
White clean.
You finna have to bury your people and just go about your day. So Irene better sit that hen like she was doing. Sit that head and shut the hell up.
Thanks, my nigga. Facts. But Irene has been warned before about the CIA. That was just more of a warning from Franklin, but she has been told this before. So I wasn't surprised that she kept moving forward with the plan even after she had that meeting with Franklin. It was just like, it's Irene. Can't even be surprised no more.
Hey, she's strong-willed. I'll give her that. Definitely strong-willed. And we get to the next scene where Alton comes in the house and tries to talk to Sissy, and he offers them to leave everything behind. Says that he can get them passports and they can leave for Cuba and have a safe life from the drugs and violence. Franklin don't even have to come. It could just be me and you. We could start over fresh, get out of this while we can. But Alton don't understand that Sissy is too deep in this shit now. Yeah, you're ahead of the real estate stuff that you're doing and all that, but the money that y'all laundering that you're using to fund that, like, that's dirty money, and that shit will trace back to you to a certain extent. So Sissy can't just up and leave. Like, even if she do go to Cuba, she can't just up and leave. One, I don't think she'll do it just because she ain't finna leave Franklin high and dry like that. And two, she don't know how clean her record is to just do that. Well,
I wouldn't say that, because in that hospital scene, she did say she wanted to leave whenever she found out Louie was okay. So I'm like, she might leave Franklin. I don't think she's going with Alton, but I think she does want to get away from this environment, my nigga. It's just too toxic, my nigga. When she thought she was getting out, she thought she was going to get to that real business relationship with Paul Davis. They giving her back the money. So she like, what is there more for me to do in South Central anymore, my nigga? I'm going to just leave and start fresh. So I wouldn't be surprised if she does leave, but she ain't going with Alton, though. I don't think she's going with Alton.
Yeah, nah, neither do I, because she said that later in the episode too. She just want to be on her own for the most part right now. And then we get to the next scene. The CIA agent comes back while Gustavo is gone and tries to break in Teddy's office. And like I said, they're looking for everything that Teddy was working on. And they were looking for the money too that he was using for the cocaine trading and the weapons trading. They were looking for everything to clear out. But Gustavo already cleared the office out and took the money. Made sure he didn't leave anything, not a crumb of evidence, not a crumb of money, nothing. So that's when Gustavo really got his flowers for, I believe, the whole show. Like, all of the seasons leading up to now, I feel like Gustavo finally got his flowers with that moment.
The thing is, where did he take all of this stuff? Where is he? Ooh. Could he be going like
he was with Teddy at the end of the episode, so I'm sure Teddy knows.
Was he?
Yeah. That was him right next to Teddy.
When? Oh, when he was with Franklin?
No,
I ain't even noticed that.
When they had
Irene. Irene. Oh, yeah. Okay, you're right. There was two people. Okay, that's my fault. So yeah, okay. Never mind.
True.
But no, my question about Gustavo is, we seen the shit with what's my girl name? girl that he was looking for?
Lucia.
Lucia. So he was looking for Lucia. He got the information on Lucia. What is going to come out of that? Like, is he going to go see her, or like what's going on with that? Because we didn't know what his reaction was when he got the information. So what are we going to see from that?
I feel like we're not gonna get any of that until season 5. They'll probably show. I'm gonna predict this now. This is like a whole 2 episodes early, but I feel like in the season finale, around the end of the episode, we'll see Lucia. We'll get like a glimpse of Lucia, and that'll be an intro on how she'll be involved in season 5. So I feel like she'll be brought in then. Episode 9.
You think she comes back comes back to Mexico?
Are
they gonna go
to
for
Mexico? I feel like she'll come back. They'll probably go to her first, but I wouldn't be surprised if she came back to Mexico. Like I said, they're using her mother's paths and trails to get their cocaine delivered. So I don't feel like you could just have her mother involved and she doesn't come to see her at some point or anything like that. So I can definitely see her going back to Mexico.
Facts.
And the next scene, Jerome and Louie are going at it. And everyone is going to Fatback's funeral, but Louie does not want to go. And Jerome feels the only people he could trust right now are the project soldiers that they got. But Louie is like, look,
didn't make sense.
We got everybody coming after us right now. I don't think it's wise for us to just be out in the open, especially at a funeral where we're all going to be in the same area at the same time. You know, so I was like, hey, Louie, I understand, but I also understand Jerome too. Like, look, Fatback gave everything to us. He was willing to take that rap. He was always willing to put his life on the line for us and everything. The least we could do is go to this nigga funeral, regardless of who coming for us right now. So I totally understood Jerome in that sense. It's like, damn, we the reason this nigga dead. We can't be the reason he dead and not go to the funeral and show respect. So I understood Jerome.
I was on Louis' side, bro. I was like, I ain't going. I'm not surprised they should have went. I think but Jerome, Franklin, Leon, they should have went. But Louis, I was surprised when she showed up. I was like, and that's why I was like, I knew she was gonna get shot because it was just like she ain't even supposed to be there. Like, I don't think she was a part of like the Fatback like that. That was more Leon and Franklin's doing than Louis. Like, Louis should have stayed at home. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with you. So it's like, damn, it's ironic that she the one that shot when she is the only person to question like that environment and them niggas having ops all over the place. Like, I was like, man, y'all niggas fucked up, bro. That's crazy.
I mean, I agree. I don't think it was wrong for her to not go, but I think she was just wrong to try and tell all of them they shouldn't go either. I'm like, nah, some of them got to go and pay respect because it's just, you can't be responsible for somebody's death, especially if they're in your circle. Like, you can't be responsible for their death and then just not pay respect and go to their funeral.
But Leon could have easily been dead like that. Cause he trying to pay respect, but damn, you could have been the next funeral we going to. Cause damn, what's name was aiming for you. So it's like, damn, we trying to pay respect. We understand that, but you popping your head out in the streets when you know damn well the cops after Leon still too. The cops and Khadijah still after Leon. So it's just like you popping your head out at a funeral where niggas know you finna be at. Like, damn, Leon, I understand it, but damn, that's some dangerous shit, bro. That's some dangerous shit.
Like you said, it's dangerous, but I do understand at the end of the day. And then we get to the next scene where Teddy and the girl are having a sit-down talk, and he informs her of another camp that she can go to, and he gives her the money to buy herself a new life, and he does this to make up for the camp getting slaughtered. And I feel this was Teddy's way of slowly but surely getting over the guilt that he has, like that he's dealing with so far in his life. I feel like that was a baby step on his path of just getting back to the old him. And I thought it was cool that he gave her that money.
Is he over his guilt? I think he still feels. I think guilt is the reason why he gave her the money. Like, I think guilt is the reason that he did that. But yeah, man, it was just that was a tough scene to watch, bro. Because it's just, you see your family dead. The person that Teddy main connect was in Nicaragua, you see her dead and shit like that. That was just, that whole Nicaraguan setup, man, was just tough to see, bro. That shit was just so tough to see. I understood why he gave her the money and told her about the camp, but that whole scene was like, man, I felt bad for Teddy for sure.
Same.
And that girl, because she by herself, like she's the only survivor. It's
I
like,
really felt
damn,
bad for her.
I feel bad for her. Yeah, man, I feel bad for her because she ain't got nowhere else to go. She can't even trust Teddy like that. Teddy trying to hand her some food. She's like, what the fuck, like. So she don't even know what to do. So it's like, man, I'm glad she took the money though, because I thought she was gonna do some head ass shit and just leave without taking the money. I'm glad she took that shit.
Yeah, me too. And then we get to the next scene. Tanosse asks Franklin how she can help the situation. And I think Tanasse's problem was she was really trying to have her intimacy towards Franklin be the reason why he could trust her. And I'm like, you just always being intimate with this man ain't going to be the only way he can trust you. But she was also on a time limit as well. So
exactly, that's why she was rushing it.
Yeah.
She became way more obvious this episode. Like my nigga, you asking way too many questions, and it's because she was on a time limit. I agree.
Because before it was like she was doing things to comfort Franklin, and she was just kind of being that listening ear that he could always talk to. And it's like, okay, using that method, it'll be a little bit easier to like get him to tell you what you want. But now you just throwing yourself at him. You just offering to help with everything. You just know information that you don't feel like Franklin don't feel like you should know right now and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, you going way too fast now. But you are on a time limit, so.
Yep.
And then a representative of Paul Davis gives Sissy back the money that they gifted him, and he backs out of their deal because of the CIA story that has been published by Irene. I'm not surprised that happened. I'll say I'm not surprised that he gave the money back, but I am surprised that he just completely backed out of like the entire deal.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Like he told him what the deal was at the beginning. He was just like, man, I know y'all got drug money, so it was just like, I'm gonna keep a close eye on y'all type shit. So if y'all get caught up in any shit like this, like I don't want to do business with you guys, especially when I know what you guys are into. So I wasn't surprised he gave her the money. But this is what started Sissy's like her mind started to wonder, like, damn, I really shouldn't even be in South Central anymore if I can't work with like the big real estate agents and shit like that. Like I might as well move on to the next step in her life.
Because I thought they still would have at least, even if they weren't partners anymore, I thought they still would have at least finished that deal. And I thought he would have said, like, you know, I thought we would have seen him this episode. I thought we would have actually seen Paul Davis and Sissy have a talk. But the fact that we didn't, I'm like, damn, like he's just completely done with them.
And nigga sent his henchman over there.
Literally.
That's funny.
So that was a shocker to me. And we get to the next scene where Irene's editors and publishers are telling her to stop the story. They're letting her know she doesn't know what she's dealing with by doing this. And the Pentagon and state council show up to the paper and they're there to talk to the editor and publisher. And Irene is seeing like, look, they're not just calling us now. Like these motherfuckers is popping up at our job, trying to figure out what do we think we talking about, basically. And Irene's still looking like these motherfuckers do not scare me. I'm still finna do this shit. And I'm like, boy, the government is not one of those people you want to do that with, boy. The Pentagon at your door, and you still finna do this shit? Yeah, Irene different, boy.
That's what I said, bro. That's why I like when her husband said, like, you really stand tall in the paint. She stands tall. It's an idiot type shit to do, but she stands tall though. She stands tall. I gotta give her that.
And we get to the most tragic scene of the episode. I feel this.
Hold on. I want to go back to that. I want to go back to that scene. I want to go back to that scene real quick. I wonder if Irene would have taken her story to another paper since her editor. And I think it was somebody even above her editor was talking to her as well. I wonder if she was willing to go to another paper and publish her story about the CIA because they were not willing to move forward with her story. I wonder if she was willing to go somewhere else to get her story off and shit like that. Somebody who's more used to this type of attention, or somebody who's used to like the New York Times or some shit. Like she has such a big ass story. I wonder if she could have went to like the New York Times or like the LA Times or some shit like that, like a big newspaper that's used to like criticism and like government shit. I wonder if they would have accepted her.
I don't think a big newspaper would have went with it, especially if you letting them know, because if you come to them with the story, they're going to wonder why you didn't try to do it at your own paper. And then once you explain what happened, they definitely not going to take it in. But I don't feel a big newspaper would do it because like just because of the fact that I'm sure government agencies don't expect the big papers to give stories like that. Like you'll have a better chance.
You expect the big stories to give stories like that about government shit. I look for the New York Times to give me some update on that. Especially the New York Times, the Washington Post. I definitely look for them. That's why I'm like, when you go to a newspaper that's not used to attention, bro, that's about to close, like they ain't used to all this buzz. But the New York Post, the LA Times, the Washington Post, like they used to that shit, and they are used to having big stories like this one. So I'm like, bro, I would not have been surprised, bro. Like, was it Spygate through the Washington Post? I think Spygate was through the Washington Post, so they have revealed big stories.
I don't remember. That's a good point. I do not remember. That is a good point, though. Did not think about that. So yeah, you got a point with that. I don't know. I just feel like back then they probably would have been like, "Nah, we thinking of the New York Times now." Like the New York Times back then was still big, but it's like, you really want to put information on the government out like that? I don't know. Who knows?
Because when was Nixon president? When was Nixon president? Wasn't he 80s? Nixon was 80s?
60s or 70s, I think.
Yeah, what was fucking Richard Nixon?
I was about to say, yeah, Google that real quick. He was 60s
69 to 74. So his shit came out before, and they wrote a story about Nixon. So they was making big stories about Nixon in the 70s. So they would have been willing to make some shit, a story about the CIA if with a big newspaper. I don't know which one. Like I said, I think that was Washington Post. But yeah, if they was willing to do it with Nixon, and that's big time government shit, I feel like they would have been willing to do it with the CIA as well.
I just think the fact that they were involved in trying to end a war, like in country stories, that's one thing, but international war stories, I don't think they weren't going to have the same type of energy. That's the only thing I feel there's a difference with. Because if you in your own state, your own country, it's like, well, we could probably let them slide with that shit. But we talking about multiple countries now with this story. And it won't just be us. It'll be our relationship with these countries that we helping at risk and all of that. We possibly could risk going to war with a country that will find out that we were helping a country they were at war with. It's too much shit to go off of like releasing that story.
I mean, shit, but are they even going to be funding a war anymore since all of those people are dead? Like, how is that relationship even going to work out moving forward since all of the people are dead?
Oh, like Teddy said, there was another camp that girl could go to, so I'm sure he can give the
and they're part of the war.
Whatever I believe so.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, we get to the next scene, which I feel was the climax of the entire episode, the entire season so far. Literally, Franklin and the crew attend Fatback's funeral, and Khadijah and her girls do a drive-by, and Louie gets shot in the midst of it. Everybody's ducking and running. Thought Leon probably would have got hit because they're the ones they hunting after, but nope, the person that didn't even want to be there was the person that got hit. And we notice again, Khadijah don't give a damn who she killed at this point. Anybody that's close to Leon, by Leon, you better watch out because you got a chance of getting hit too.
Yeah, that shit really hurt me, bro. Because like I had tweeted out, the one person that didn't want to come to the funeral is the one that gets popped. Like that shit is such a cold game shit, a cold game reference, bro. And it's just like, man, I was hurting when I seen that. I expected it because we all seen the trailer and that one pic that was floating around, but it was just like, damn, Leon, Franklin, fucking everybody up.
Crazy. And right after that, we see that Louie is in the ICU at the same hospital that Franklin went to when he got shot. And Franklin tells Leon to keep an eye on Jerome. And Leon tells Franklin that Khadijah is the one that's after them. You think this is Man Boy and Scully people that's coming? No, I need you to know exactly who is hunting us right now. It's the girl who is the mother of that girl baby that I killed. And Leon and Franklin is like, oh shit, like that's a whole extra person we got to worry about now. And Tanosse comes in, eavesdropping on the conversation, and she offers to find the girls who helped her. And I'm like, yep, you moving a little bit too fast, T.
For real, bro. She knew too much, bro. She had too many connections. It's like, bro, where is this even coming from? Where is this energy coming from? Like, she popping up on the scene, like eavesdropping in on conversations, like, oh, I can help him for you. Like, I can find him. Like, My nigga, what? Like, you ain't never talked to me like this before, my nigga. Like, antennas already raised at that point. Antennas already raised. That shit crazy.
And we get to the next scene where Irene tells her ex-husband that she's going off the grid. So she kind of feels the pressure now from the government, and she feels like the best thing for her to do at this moment is to lay low until she can find an effective way to get the second part of the story out. And he offers her to stay with him, but she's like, no, I promised y'all I wasn't going to get you or my daughter involved. And we see her ex-husband tell her that he is proud of her. Like Quincy just said, Irene has been standing in the paint this whole time. She's the only one that isn't really afraid, even though she knows she has to kind of hide at the moment. You know, so that was a really touching moment. I wasn't into getting her backstory too much, really, but I love the fact that they are diving into her character more.
Yeah. I love that scene because she was only going off the grid to push the story forward. She wanted to continue to write about the story, and what the newspaper she was working for was not even trying to go through that shit anymore. So she had to go off the grid. Too many people were coming after her. But I was kind of upset because she could have left that night, but she told her husband, "I want to spend one last night in my house." It's like, my nigga, if you're trying to get off the grid like that, you should have left immediately. You didn't even have that many valuables. You're supposed to leave immediately. And we see her staying in her house that one last night got her ass fucked up. I'm like, bro, you should have left immediately, my nigga. You knew niggas was coming after you, dog. You knew niggas was coming after you.
Boy, when you get that urge to do some shit, you better listen to your instincts, boy. Do
exactly.
Not delay it or anything. And we get to the next scene where Tanosse warns Man-Boy of what happened about the funeral shooting. And Man-Boy and his people are preparing for war. They know for a fact shit that escalated. Louie getting hit it just hit a different nerve. If Leon would have got shot, I don't know if everybody would have just been ready to go to war. But you hit Louie, somebody ain't had shit to do with the situation. Oh yeah, niggas coming for your head now, bro. So
you knew Jerome was finna. He knew Jerome was finna come for their head, bro. That nigga was like, oh yeah, Jerome finna come.
Definitely.
That nigga like Jerome finna come, but everybody had their Uzis ready though. I can't lie, everybody was they was ready. And I'm gonna get to the shit a little later, but yeah, that shit was crazy, bro.
And Teddy and the CIA agent finally meet, and the agent tells Teddy about Irene's story and puts him up on game on what has been exposed about the CIA so far since he's been gone. And he ain't even been gone that long. Teddy only been gone a few days, maybe a week at most. And Teddy looking like, bro, I can't even leave without shit being That's why he don't never want to go on vacation. Teddy don't never want to take a break. He's like, bro, if I leave, I just know some shit finna go left.
So did Gustavo ever try to contact Teddy? Like at the end of episode 7, we see Franklin was calling Gustavo. So did Gustavo never try to contact Teddy at all, or what? Nothing happened with that, or did he even have a phone like pager?
I don't think he tried to contact Teddy, just off of the fact that Teddy has to deal with one situation at a time. Like, he already got shit going 100 miles an hour in his head. The last thing Teddy needed in that situation was to just leave, and then you get bad news as you're leaving to go to another country. So if Gustavo would have told Teddy, it wouldn't have did shit, because it's like, well, he got to handle that first, so I can't just put bad news on him while he's already trying to handle bad news. Let's just wait till he get back. So I understand why Gustavo didn't tell him, because what was telling him gonna do? He ain't there to fix shit at the moment. So
he could have got some shit in motion. Like, he probably could have stopped shit from happening the night before. He probably could have made some calls like, hey, stop this story from coming out, some shit like that. But Gustavo not telling him the story is out now. So now we have to do even more work to knock this shit off.
I feel like Gustavo just did the best that he could, because maybe he knew that. Yeah. Maybe he knew there were certain things that he couldn't just do by himself. Like Teddy, if Teddy probably would have told him to do something, it's like, no, you might need Teddy to do some shit with you, because the connects Teddy has might not just be willing to work with somebody that works for Teddy. They might only want to work with Teddy on trying to stop some shit. Yep. And then what was the scene after that? Sissy tells Franklin on their business loss, and she's moving out of the house, but not with Alton. And she lets Franklin know, like, look, I have to start taking care of myself, and I feel like it's time for me to move out of South Central, like you just said. So what was your thoughts on that? Do you feel like it's time for Sissy to move on? And will we see her in season 5?
No. I think she's done with it, bro. She's seen all that she can see. And like I said, it's nothing to benefit her anymore. Her goal at the end of the day was that she wanted to be a legitimate businesswoman. That has been her goal since like season 2, ever since she was working with that real estate company. She has wanted to be a legitimate businesswoman. And she can't be that anymore because it's always going to be tied up in some sort of drug money. So it's like, it's nothing to benefit me anymore. I'm caught up between you and your father's toxic relationship. Why am I here? Like, I need to really take care of myself because y'all just stressing me out with all this bullshit. And y'all finna fucking hit me in an early grave before I even want to get there. So let me just go away, mind my business, and do what I'm supposed to do. And Franklin's going to be fine. Franklin got all these people that care about him. He's going to be fine without his mom. But that was his business partner at the end of the day. But I think he'll still be fine.
And she said something that really stuck out to me. She said, I am no longer a wife or mother first. And I felt like she really felt like she was just a business partner at that point. She felt like Franklin don't even really look at her as a mother right now. And she don't feel like Alton really looks at her as a wife right now either. They're both trying to get her to go along with their plan on what they feel is right, on what they feel is necessary. And nobody is really trying to get her input. So she emotionally and mentally just feels like she's not being put first by anybody. So who gonna put you first if you don't put yourself first?
That's facts.
And right after that, Franklin meets up with Teddy, and they finally update each other on what's been going on both ends. And Teddy is going to handle Irene. He lets Franklin know, look, I appreciate what you did. You did what you could with the situation, but leave it to me. I'm finna handle this shit. And I'm like, boy, Franklin and Teddy are back. They back to their old selves, and I'm loving it. I thought Teddy was just going to downward spiral into a death. I still would not be surprised if we lost Teddy somehow, some way, either by the end of this season or going into season 5. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost Teddy. But right now, I'm loving the fact that he's at least back to his normal self before anything does possibly happen to him. And Teddy and Franklin really have that bond with each other, like you just said a few moments ago. And he puts Franklin on game. Look, we are clearly at the point now where you have to live by this motto. You can't trust anyone. Because at the end of the day, everybody is going to look out for themselves. And he made sure Franklin knew that. Look, I'm with you for the ride. If shit go left, shit hit the fan, it's going to be me and you to the end. But you need to know you can't trust any fucking body. And I love the fact he put Franklin on game.
Franklin going to kill his daddy by the end of season 4. Boy, when he told that he got to put a muzzle on Alton, I was like, oh, he finna kill Alton. He finna kill Alton because that's the only way he gonna shut up, bro. You can't trust this nigga at this point. He could still run his mouth even if you keep him alive. I was like, he's gonna kill Alton. That's gonna be the muzzle that Teddy is talking about.
If he kills Alton, I'm gonna say it right now, Sissy will never talk to Franklin ever again. But I feel like that's why Franklin...
She'll still talk to that nigga. She'll still talk to that nigga.
Hell no.
Yeah, she will, bro. Yeah, she
already don't even really want to be involved with neither one of them like that no more. And you mean to tell me, like, if he killed his own daddy, like, granted, I understand the situation. No, she not just gonna be understanding of that shit, bro. No,
it's gonna take a couple of months, but bro, it's Franklin, bro.
Months?
It's Franklin and his mom. It's Franklin and his mom, bro. Who cares, Franklin, bro? That nigga was on the street a couple of years ago. And he betrayed both of y'all. Don't get that twisted. He betrayed Sissy and Franklin. He didn't just betray Franklin. So, bro, if snitches get stitches, bro, and you get in the grave, I ain't gonna be mad at it.
But
and if I'm Sissy, I'm not mad at it.
This is a mother we're talking about, bro. A mother and a wife. She's not just gonna slide and just be, oh well, damn. It is what it is. She's not just gonna be like that if she find out.
Like I said,
Franklin killed
it's gonna take a couple of months. It's gonna take a couple of months, but like she already said it before, bro. Me and my son are not going to be disconnected anymore, bro. So even with Alton, like Alton couldn't get in between their bond anyway. So even though Sissy want to get away, she wants to still be connected to Franklin, right? She's not abandoning her son. So even if he does kill Alton, she will still be right there with him, bro, because she will understand it. Will she be hurt? Yes, of course she will be hurt, but she will understand it. She will.
She gonna love him from afar. I'm telling you that right now. She gonna love him from afar and not talk to that man unless she has to. I'm gonna tell you that right now. She will not speak to Franklin anymore if Franklin does end up killing Alton.
But if she does leave, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if we won't see Sissy again. Like I said, like her point in the show is kind of over with.
I'd be mad if I don't see Sissy no more. It's your mom, bro. Like, and is she involved? She's involved though. Like, if she wasn't involved with shit and she was really just not in the picture of what they're doing, okay. But she's heavily involved in the shit that's going on. So you can't just put Sissy out and just be like, oh well.
But she's not involved with anything anymore because he's not going to do business with real estate. So like, what are you here for? And you're about to leave anyway. So if we don't talk to you, if we don't see Sissy again, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I'll leave it in the air. Yet to be seen. And right after that, Jerome tells the crew he's ready to get revenge. And Tanosse tells Franklin who the girls were and that Manboy is deeply invested on getting the plug. And she gives the idea.
She said that.
Yeah.
I was surprised she said that.
He was moving way too fast, bro.
Yeah, bro. I was like, what? Like, why would Manboy tell you that he want the plug? Like, come on, dog.
But it wasn't that. Bro. It wasn't the fact that she said Manboy is like really bent on getting the plug. It was this gem right here that all that Franklin needed. She said that Manboy, the plan should be to give Manboy the plug so he can calm Khadijah down. It's not the fact that she said Manboy want the plug, because Leon was like, well, shit, that ain't really no major shit. Everybody want the plug. Everybody willing to take us out to get the plug. You know what I'm saying? But it was the fact that she brought up making a deal with Manboy, like you said, a solution. So you just got a solution now on how to fix this shit. Like, nah, I can't just trust that out of nowhere. Especially, I just got done talking to Teddy. Nah, you're not finna do that to me.
Yeah, and I'm glad he did that, because earlier in the episode she was like you can trust me type shit. Wasn't that earlier in the episode? I think she had said that, and it looked like Franklin might have told her something like was Franklin going to tell her? Was he not going to tell her type shit? But then when he had that talk with Teddy, he was like, you can't trust anybody. You already got fucked over by your dad. It's like, you can't trust anybody. So when he had his high beams on, he had his antennas going. So when he talked to her, he was like, yeah, she dirty, dog. She fucking with Manboy. Yeah.
Cause you seen him like right after he agreed to the shit, he was like, all right, call Manboy, set it up, and I'll hit you up later and see what's about to happen. You see him look up, he like, fuck, I know what I gotta do, bro. Like, I'm looking like, bro, Franklin know what the fuck going on. He like, bro, I really don't want to do this, because I really thought this bitch was for me.
Can't trust none of these hoes, especially when you got the green.
Boy, crazy. And we get to the final moments of the show, really. Jerome sees Louie in the ICU, and shit ain't looking good right now. Franklin saying the doctors letting everybody know, look, it's a coin flip decision right now. We're not 100% sure. She got tubes all up in her. What will happen to Louie? Will she end up partially paralyzed? Will she end up with a cane like Franklin? Will she end up being in charge as much as she is? Or will she just fall back and own her club?
She falling back.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, because what I'm thinking is, with her getting shot, she might still be involved with the business to a small degree, to where it's like she's still gonna run her club and she'll let shit go through her club. But her going everywhere with them, her being involved with Teddy and all that shit's going to take a huge fall back. And I think her and Jerome, assuming she makes it to the end and she comes back alive, I feel like her and Jerome are finally gonna try and live their life the way they want to live it now. So I wouldn't be surprised on some happy ending type shit with them.
Once again, why didn't we get a clip about Arkansas? I know this was such a great episode, but we need to see what the hell is going on in Little Rock. These niggas must be smoking out some heavy crack.
Them niggas smoking
out some heavy crack by now, my nigga. It's been 2 episodes, and we ain't seen them yet. They smoking up all the crack.
Them niggas smoking all up. I don't even care. I don't even care about them. I don't even care.
They haven't even called for a re-up. They ain't even called for a re-up yet. Them niggas is smoking all of that crack, boy.
I know that shit is in shambles right now. They are definitely smoking that shit. Like you said, once I peeped that, they ain't even get no phone call from them again. I was like, yeah, that shit in the water. Just, yeah.
That shit hilarious, bro.
And Teddy and Gustavo drug Irene and let her ass know quick that there is not no empty threats in this shit. We ain't just telling you what could happen no more. Nah, we showing you what the fuck finna happen. And Teddy, when he injected her, he was like, "You're gonna wake up tomorrow." What was that he put in her? I have no idea. Probably some shit just to knock you out, a sedative or something like that.
Because he said, this first time is just a warning, you're gonna go to sleep. But he was like, if I come back another time, you're gonna be dead. Like, so this must be some dangerous shit. If you put it in somebody's system twice, they die. Like, I don't know what that is.
It's probably not put it in twice. Like I said, it's probably a sedative. Like, he probably put it in just to knock her out for the night, just to scare her and warn her. But if you take too much of a sedative, like, that shit can put you out for real. So he gave her enough just to knock her out for the night and scare her. But that's why he said, if I have to come back again, like, you not waking up the next time. So I'm like, yeah, he gonna overdose your ass. And the way he did it, it could look like, oh, was she on heroin or some shit? Like, it could be an easy ass cover up.
Facts.
Teddy's back in his bag.
Because you can say, like, the pressure of everything, like, it made her go toward the drugs and shit like that. So she was trying to get heroin just so she can forget about her problems in the world, which would be so fucking ironic because she's snitching on the drug game and she's going deeper into the drugs.
Yes,
that should be so fucking
ironic. Teddy be thinking, boy. Teddy like, I got this shit. Let me get back in my bag. Let me get back in my season 2 bag.
Facts.
And we go back to the hospital, and Jerome don't care what Franklin want anymore. Jerome is tired of the lies. He tired of the repercussion from all the lies. Y'all done got my baby shot. I don't give a fuck what Franklin talking about no more. I want heads. That's all I want right now. And he gonna let the clip loose.
Which is not smart, because I seen in the episode 9 preview that he's not going to listen to Franklin. Like you said, he doesn't want anything to do with Franklin. He is not going to listen to Franklin. But that's not smart, because I think they will use Tanosse against Man Boy. I seen a lot of people saying that, oh, Tanosse a rat, so they got to exterminate her. They're going to have to kill her. Like, no, use her against Man Boy, draw Man Boy out, and that's how you get Man Boy ass. Be smart with it. Jerome just trying to go head up with Man Boy. Then it's gonna be bodies lost on both sides, my nigga. It's no benefit to that. Be smart about it. Listen to Franklin. He gonna use Tanosse to draw him out. Then y'all clap that nigga. Y'all gotta be smart, Jerome. Jerome trying to do this shit a head ass way, bro. God damn.
Facts. And the final scene of the episode comes, and Tanosse calls Man Boy to let him know that the deal is on for the plug with Franklin. And Franklin and Peaches catch her ass, and her cover is finally blown. And this is the moment we was all waiting for season 4. I ain't even mad that they made us wait then until the end of the season for Franklin to get back on his shit. Because no matter what point in the season that it happened, we was gonna have this hype. Franklin back on his shit. Hey, pussy asshole, how long you been playing? That's really what he wanted to say.
Facts. And it's funny because I knew that nigga Franklin was in there because they kept the scene for too long. They kept it on her face for way too long.
Yeah.
So I was like, that nigga Franklin in the back chilling, my nigga. And when that nigga walked out with the cane on some pimp shit, I was like, oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was happy.
I thought they was going to kill her. But I know they're not going to, because they would have killed her at the end of this episode if they was going to.
Yeah. You got to use her to your advantage, my boy. But Jerome gonna fuck shit up, bro. Because like I said, it's gonna be bodies lost on both sides if you try to go head up with Man Boy, and y'all got the advantage on y'all side now. Just use Tanosse, my nigga, and y'all straight. Because she want to see Man Boy dead too. Because she don't want her brother to be harmed or whatever. So she also wants Man Boy to be dead. So she will ride with y'all. So just be patient. But this nigga Jerome trying to go head off, trying to get everybody head. It's just like, chill, Jerome. Chill. We got everything under control.
But I don't think Jerome will fuck it up too bad. I feel like Jerome, they'll probably, he not gonna fuck up their plan. Yeah, it'll be a situation where you're gonna have a war moment, but it's not gonna fuck up the plan completely. They could still use Tanosse to their full advantage.
I don't know, bro. Do I even want to do business with the Saints? If y'all just came at me, or Jerome just came at me, if I'm Man Boy, do I even want to do business with y'all anymore? Like, we just had a whole ass war. Like, if Jerome is like really going at Man Boy like that, do I even want to do business with y'all anymore.
Well, you made that promise to Khadijah to make shit straight, so you're gonna do whatever the fuck you gotta do to keep that promise. And if you want the plug as bad as you say you want the plug, you really have no other option. So,
oh yeah, damn. So this nigga man boy gonna be dead by the end of this season, man. He had a good run. And that's another reason why I hate that we got season 5 news, but it is what it is. You know what? We know man boy is not making it. But Scully could still be around. Scully could still be around for season 5. And like I said, if they kill Khadijah, he is finna be on niggas' heads next season.
Man, if man boy died and Khadijah died, Scully ain't finna do shit. He's going to be irrelevant at that point.
What? Irrelevant?
Because you don't have nobody teaming up with you. You ain't got nobody teaming up. You just got the Bloods at that point.
He still got his people. That's way deeper than what Franklin got.
No, it's not.
What does Franklin have? Talking about what people with guys?
You still got South
Central. Out there?
You still got South Central. You still got all the projects. Like, come on now.
What? Them niggas don't even bang with Franklin like that. You talking about the projects where Fatback Cousin was at? That's still, I don't think that's as much as the Bloods, bro. It's Bloods everywhere in LA at this time.
But you're assuming that all the Bloods get along. You're assuming that all the Bloods just gonna listen to Scully. Like, it don't just work like that. Like, Scully can't just be like calling all
them Bloods in the damn apartment building. But all them Bloods that was chilling outside the apartment building,
nigga. That's one apartment building.
Bro, you think it's just one? It's multiple. It's multiple apartment buildings. They probably got decked out just like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, Scully's team is still deep if everybody get knocked off. Scully's team is still deep.
You're assuming that it's going to be some calling all Bloods. It's like you're assuming it's.
It don't even have to
like
be
that.
How many, bro? All the gangs are gonna ride for Scully though. If you're a Blood, you're gonna ride for Scully.
I don't think it's.
You don't have to be calling all Bloods, but Scully team still deep. They still are deep, bro. Ain't got to be calling all Bloods, but his team's still gonna be deep, bro.
If he sees that the Saint crew done knocked off Khadijah and knocked off Man Boy, and you seeing paperwork saying that they working with the CIA, so they really ain't finna get in trouble with shit, you really finna think Scully just gonna come and run through that shit? Scully doesn't think. Scully doesn't think anyway. Why are you assuming he's gonna think about the situation? That's why the shit would not work, because you don't think.
I'm not saying he's gonna live, but he's going at that nigga Franklin head though, for sure. He's finna go at Franklin head.
He's gonna be very unsatisfactory. I'll tell you that right now.
He's finna go out Franklin. Hey, if you killing all my people, and especially when he cool with Man Boy now at this point, like my nigga, what? I'm finna ride out for my niggas, who is my daughter, and I'm finna ride out for my niggas. Like, bro, Franklin. By the end of this episode, bro, I will only be satisfied if Franklin is dead. Truthfully, with all the shit Franklin has done, by the end of season 5, if season 5 is the last season, I will only be satisfied with Franklin dead. Even if it isn't by Scully's hand, that's the only reason I will be satisfied. He just did too much shit in this community, bro, to just get away scot-free. His people still good as shit. No, Franklin needs to die by somebody. It don't even got to be a gang member. It can be somebody traded, like some Judas and Messiah shit.
Franklin ain't gonna die. I'm gonna give a whole big ass prediction for season 5. We ain't got no preview of season 5. We ain't got an episode of season 5. Franklin Saint will not be dead by the end of season 5. If season 5 is the last season, he will be alive, but I will say this, he will lose a lot of people on the way. And it'll be bittersweet, because it's like you said, their system my way, but you're gonna lose a lot of fucking people. Even if you make it, I feel like you'll probably lose 2 or 3 people that were main characters this whole time, even though you'll probably get away. So I think Franklin will make it. It's just he ain't really gonna have nobody to celebrate with.
Man, oh man, but what you got for predictions for next episode?
Predictions specifically for next episode. Tanosse will get killed. I feel like Franklin and them will knock her off after they use her for what they need to do with Man Boy. So that's the first prediction. Irene is going to successfully still launch the second part of her story. I feel like she's still finna get this story put out, even with Teddy and them drugging her and all this and that. She gonna find a way to get that second part out. And Alton's going to leave. I don't feel like Alton is going to be involved in the show any longer. He's going to take that flight whether Sissy goes with him or not.
Yeah. I don't think Tanosse dies, bro. Because I feel like Franklin will end up understanding why she was doing what she was doing because they were threatening her brother. And Franklin knows her brother as well. So it could be some type of connection there where I feel like he would not kill her if he understands what she was doing and why she was doing it. So I don't think she will die. But I do think the plot of her being like the bait for Man-Boy does happen next episode. It's going to be a war between Jerome and Man-Boy. And what else, bro? Khadijah dies next episode. Khadijah dies.
Oh, yeah. I'll predict that too. Khadijah dies next episode.
Khadijah dies next episode. Which is tough because I wanted her to be like around for a little longer, but nah, she's doing way too much at this point. She's doing way too much at this point. All right, bro. You got anything else?
Nah.
All right, bro. You can hit him with the social media.
You can hit us up on Twitter at QE Podcast 1. You can hit us up on Instagram at QANDE Podcast. You can follow and like our Facebook page. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the notification bell so you can see anytime that we drop new episodes. Our email, QANDEpodcast@gmail.com for any business inquiries, questions, or concerns.
Yes, and definitely subscribe to all of our podcast platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And wherever you listen to your podcast, we are most likely there. So definitely subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube. We appreciate all the support, especially from the Snowfall series. Check out all our other podcasts and other our other reviews as well. We definitely appreciate all of the love. And subscribe to my YouTube. Just type in Quincy Hicks into the search bar and subscribe. We appreciate you guys for listening. Episode 9 is up next.
Yes, and sir. 2 more episodes left, boy. 2 more left. Woo.
Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all for listening, and we out. Peace.